Hi! So I'm excited that this is my second Insta Live tonight. And this is all about, my past guests from my With Tracy podcast. And today we've got Duxmore Botanics, which is Charlotte Legge, who I'm just about to invite. Now, before I do invite her, it's been nearly 2 years since we had the podcast and she was a guest, and I was down on her farm, which unfortunately we didn't video at the time, but I'm really hoping that next time we get to do it, we'll be there and we'll be videoing. Anyway, she's going to come back tonight just to give us an update on what's been happening in the last 2 years. So I'm just going to invite her now. Here we go. Let me just... I'm hoping that she will come on any moment. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Charlotte, sorry, I had to disengage my screen. It was something stuck on it. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this With Tracy Insta Live tonight. It's just brilliant, actually, to have you back. And Charlotte, I can't believe, it was September 2020 when we did that podcast.
I know, I can't believe it was that far ago, really. It's just time has flown so quickly since then. There's so much has happened in that time, hasn't it? For everybody.
Yeah, no, totally.
And yet it just feels like yesterday in other ways. So, yeah.
So
how are you anyway?
I'm brilliant. And I'm just so excited to chat to you because we've literally shared a few emails, haven't we? And we've kept saying we must get together and I was going to come over and see you, which I will be doing, but we just haven't had this kind of catch up. So I'm delighted and thank you so much for being with me tonight. And before we get started, if anyone's listening out there tonight, if you have any questions for Charlotte or me at the end of it, we'll give, a few minutes over to answering those questions. So please, feel free to join in the conversation if you like. So Charlotte, look, the first question is first, how's it been for you then the last 2 years?
Gosh, it has been a whirlwind. So much has happened. It's actually, before we came on air, I was just trying to jot down a few things that have happened, and the list just kept on going. It's been quite surreal. We've won awards. We've been sort of nominated for awards by public. We've moved into our new HQ actually, which I'm in now, and you haven't seen. So yeah, I'm in HQ. So it's a dedicated sort of lab space on the farm. We get all our production runs done in here. I would like to say that we haven't outgrown it, but I kind of feel we did on the day we moved in. But I'm not going to tell my husband because he works so hard to make this happen.
So listen, I was going to ask you, I was re-listening and I do, I don't know if people find this sad or not, but I do re-listen to the podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Today I was listening to ours and you're very passionate and you said that, I just wanted to know if the passion was still there, since you launched, because a lot of people are very passionate to start with. So that's,
yes.
I'm guessing that your answer is yes, just by the sound of your voice, but.
Oh, yeah, I am. It is hard, isn't it? It's hard, as you well know, running your own business, it has its challenges. You have really great days and you can come across some days that you just don't know which way to turn, but actually, I'm still so passionate about it. And when I get to do what I love every single day, I am so, so grateful. And, there's not many people that can say that. And I think as long as, it doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work. Oh, well, that's truly important. That's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you want to share with us a few of the new things or some of the progress that has been happening over the last 2 years, Charlotte?
Yeah, so we have launched we've launched, well, I think actually when I met you last time and we had our podcast, we were getting it in the build up to launch the Island collection, which we couldn't share at the time, you know, because it was, you know, moments away from launching. But that's been a great success. It's been a really sort of good range, and it's sort of expanded as well. So it's become a great thing for islanders and islanders at heart to sort of, you know, share with their loved ones on the mainland, or gifting overseas as well, just a little token of island life, you know, sent overseas. So that's been great. We've also launched our sort of topical massage balm, which has been great in sort of treatment rooms, so professional treatment rooms as well have been using it. So you can now get, you know, a Duxmore Botanics treatment in a few places, which is great. And yeah, and then just there are other products, you know, there's always testing and stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So as you well know, you know, you can have a great idea, you can go through the whole development process, and you can get so close to the end, and then just something falls over and you have to go all the way back to the beginning. So I think with one product that we've been working on for the last 2 years, we're actually very nearly there. Well, we are there. We're there. We're done. And so that will launch for Christmas. And we are just so, like, sinking in Christmas artwork as we speak, which seems crazy in the middle of a heat wave. But yeah, so much. And, like, you know, awards as well. One of the greatest we won the Countryside Small Business of the Year award this year.
Fantastic.
Which is like my little trophy.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was an honour to win.
Charlotte, are you starting your trophy cabinet?
I have lots of certificates on the wall, and yeah, I think a cabinet would be quite nice. There's also we've been really lucky actually. We also get to formulate for other brands as well, and I know we were doing a little bit of that when I spoke before, but I now consult for another brand which are really up and coming, and they're gonna be quite big, I think. You know, they've got some great formulations. It's such a pleasure to work on them, and yeah, I can't wait to share that with everyone as well.
Oh yeah, that's really exciting. Yeah. And so you launched the eyeliner, because also just going about on the awards, sorry, I noticed also you were finalists for Free From as well.
Yes. So with our face and body oil, actually, which I happen to have next to me. Yay! So we got the bronze award, and which actually I'm really proud to have received, because it was such a huge category. It was a facial oil category, and it's a European award as well. So there are such a huge number of entrants. You know, I thought bronze is fantastic, you know, in such a big lineup. So so charmed. And then,
I saw that. I was like, oh, that is incredible.
Thank you so much. And we've also another exciting one, which I think the results will be announced in a couple of weeks' time. But we've made the finals, which is quite exciting. And that was for the Health and Wellbeing Magazine Awards. And that was for our rosemary, lavender and eucalyptus candle in the aromatherapy category. So again with the aromatherapy category as well, it's such a diverse and a really sort of broad category. You can have anything, you know, body oils, candles, room spray, pillow mist, facial oils, bath treatments. So again, it'll be interesting to see how that one pans out.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
I just think, you know, it is a massive achievement, and you know, obviously, you know, I understand this, but it's such hard work, particularly, you know, when you are developing your own formulations in skincare or body care or anything like that, and particularly for you, you know, making it very botanical and natural, and you know, it just takes so much time, and there's all sorts of variations of challenges, really, aren't there, along the way.
Yeah.
So
It's
I,
so
yeah, I mean, have you, you know, obviously 2020, we were sort of in the middle of lockdown, really, sort of in between it.
yeah.
But have you, in the last 2 years, faced any other challenges that you hadn't earlier on, you know, in starting your business? I'm just intrigued because I know
Yeah, no,
it's a journey, isn't it?
it's a good question actually, because I think during lockdowns, everyone was sending each other a gift via the website. People could only order online. It was our own it was our own retail therapy, wasn't it? We could buy things. Things were still accessible. So obviously, web sales were huge. I mean, it was the only way people could shop. So there was a period of adjustment when life started to go back to normal, retail opened again,
Yeah.
and it was really hard to sort of adjust to people's shopping patterns. We kept on top and we still grew and we're still growing, but it did take a moment. It took you out of your comfort zone for a moment because you thought, oh no, like you may have seen a decline in web sales, but then when you look at the retail figures, they grew like 140%. So it's a real shift in people's shopping patterns. And then again, I would say this year, you had the period after Christmas. January, we always do very well, actually. Come February and March, although we were still growing, there was a moment where, the social and the news was all about your bills were going up, your food's going up, everything's going up, you can't spend money, no one's got disposable income. And that's all we heard. And even, for us, the family, you were really careful about what you spent your money on.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that people are still choosing to purchase, even through tough times, we're so grateful for that. And it's a bit of a testament to some of the products, themselves, that people keep coming back for more, even in tough times. So, but it's still a challenge. It's unpredictable.
Yeah. And I'd like to ask you on that question, actually, or, on that topic, with all the things that are happening, obviously the war in Ukraine and the cost of things, and also the backlash of the pandemic, we know there's been a real backlog of things stuck, basically, that are still taking a very long time to come through. Has that affected your business, the behind the scenes business, trying to get, product or ingredients in, that kind of thing?
Yes. So in a couple of areas, really. So glass, I seem to spend far too much of my life looking online at glass bottles. It has become a bit of a thing, a bit of a joke amongst everyone. But it kind of feels like you're constantly winging it a little bit in that area, which isn't a comfortable place to be, as you know, because we like to be organised and we're staying on top at the moment. But with terms of the Ukraine, I just don't think people realise that knock-on impact. So for us, actually, as a brand, our calendula extract is macerated in sunflower oil, which comes from the Ukraine. So already back in sort of January, February time, all of our suppliers were contacting us and saying, you need to bring your next 12-month stock because it's not going to be available. And as a result of that, becoming unavailable will mean a lot of brands are having to reformulate because, once the sunflower crop, or supply runs dry, then your big mass market cosmetic brands are then looking to other sort of commodity carrier oils like rapeseed oil, apricot kernel oil, sort of your, I want to say less expensive. They're not less efficacious on the skin or anything like that. They're just they're a readily available byproduct of fruit industry. So but then subsequently that pushing the cost of those commodity ingredients up or making them unavailable. So you have a real sort of knock-on effect going down the line in terms of the cosmetic industry and ingredients available. And then just lastly on that note really is the fact that then, because everyone's having to reformulate your safety assessors, your cosmetic, because every single product, every change you make, even however small it is, has to go back through your cosmetic safety assessor, and you have to pay again for another safety report to be done on a formula. So it's constant, and you know, we're okay, touch wood, at the moment, but it's something that you're constantly having to have a watchful eye on.
Yeah. Which then brings me to, again, listening back at our podcast. I mean, you said, I always ask my guests what their vision is, and you said your 5-year vision was to be growing some of your own botanicals on the farm. I mean, wouldn't that just be amazing? And I just wondered, you know, I know we're not 5 years, we're 2 years since you made that statement. But I just wondered if you've made any inroads into that vision at all.
So at the moment, the only thing that we've managed to achieve in that time, purely because of the juggling, changing sort of landscape, everything that was been happening. So at the moment, we've got as far as we have our still. We have a still in-house where we can produce lavender essential oil. So at the moment, it's not something that we're using in our products. There's another big process that needs to happen in terms of testing there, but we're able to run sort of pilot batches based on the lavender that we grow on the farm. You know, it's still a really small, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's a really small crop. But it will be interesting to see how well that performs against your other high altitude lavenders, you know, sourced from mountains here and places like that. It'd be interesting to see how they perform sort of chemically.
Yeah. Going back to your comment about the sunflower oil, I just wondered what they're doing with all those sunflowers in France. I think just had you know, a week away, but you know, I mean, France just seems to be fields and fields and fields of sunflowers. So
I might head over there.
I know. And I'm just thinking also, you know, the way the climate's going, you know, it's getting warmer everywhere, and obviously sunflowers. I mean, you know, it could be something that you'll be growing maybe on your farm at some point, you know.
I know that at the garlic farm, you know, they had the most incredible field of sunflowers. So they do grow on the island quite well. You know, that's been proven. But again, you know, being on an island, it will very much depend on machinery that's already here, you know, tractors and the machinery that can be used, utilised to harvest that. So, I mean, there are other sort of seed oils that are manufactured on the islands, you know, when it comes to sort of rapeseed oil or canola, whatever. You know, there is a kit over here, if you like, to make that happen.
Yeah. But I guess, you know, for you being on an island as well, I mean, you've still got the issue of not only have we got to get the stuff into the UK, we've got to get the stuff then to you on an island.
Yes.
And, you know, through the pandemic particularly, and, you know, there are still challenges. You know, I you know, appreciate that, you know, there's all this issue with all the strikes that are happening, and the backlash that has as well. If the ferries aren't running, the trains aren't running, they've got issues trying to get through the, you know, Channel Tunnel and all sorts of things. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, what we're saying is for any manufacturer or anyone putting together something that's reliant on things coming in from, even if it's not that far away, it's itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, I do find, you know, my role has changed quite significantly.
Oh, interesting. That is interesting.
You know, you've gone from sort of being able just to do what you love, formulate products that you love, products that work on the skin, you know, and be really proud about that. And we are very much still. However, you know, a lot of my days get quite consumed by managing a lot of those aspects, you know, managing my inbox. As you know, I'm terrible at coming back on time. You know, my inbox is just full. It's just, you know, constantly trying to manage, you know, transportation of goods, or you know, just the supply chain in general, or that continuity of supply. You know, I write as much as my designer does all of the beautiful illustrations and brings all of the artwork together. I still obviously have to submit the copy for all of that as well, and sort of we work together on that beautifully. Really, I'm very lucky. But to coordinate all of that aspect as well, it's yeah, it's quite a varied role.
So what you're saying, Charlotte, is you're still very much a one-person business.
Yes. Yeah. So that is actually though something very much so in this last sort of couple of months that I do need to change. You know, I still have my best friend volunteers once a week. She still helps me on the production line.
Oh, that's so great.
She's amazing, and she's good, like seriously good. You know, but then I have lots of offers of help. As lots of people, I guess we're not very good at taking it, but actually I think it is now time to sort of delegate even my inbox. Yeah, because it does then take you.
You need a virtual assistant, really.
I do, yeah, I do.
But it's quite interesting because my next guests on Insta Live, which I'm going to promo a bit tonight, are people, Ian and Inga, who you know very well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who set up Madam Jennifer, and they've been guests on my With Tracy podcast, and they're coming on next week. So I think that's going to be a really good one. But you know, listening back, we were very much laughing, but he found it very hard to delegate, and that, you know, growing his business was going to be hard for him. He didn't, you know, if it wasn't hands-on for him, he felt he might lose interest. So it's going to be really interesting what they're going to say, because they're nearly 2 years on as well. So, but and you know, the discussion takes place about how delegation is one of the hardest things when it's your business, and we probably appreciate that much more now. You know, when we worked for people, you're always going, oh, they should delegate that. They shouldn't be worrying about the, you know, the nitty gritty and getting into the detail. But you can understand, I think, once you start your own business, that it's really hard. No
100%.
Are they?
I do, and I do say to you, like, even just when I'm chatting to Tina, obviously, who works with me that day a week, you know, I say to her, I 100% get it now. I get it, you know, and it's so hard, you know, like before, working for female founders, you know, like you say, you know, getting them to let go of certain areas, you know, or just, you know, giving them the confidence to know that, you know, we would look after it as much as it was our own as well, you know. But when you are, you know, the creator of it all, and you just think, oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm very precious about even the labels, so I'll let, you know, Tina will label away, but she will find me every now and again, sort of behind her. It's like, you need to go away now. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I do think, delegation is one of the hardest things, and I fully appreciate that now, and it's just great to hear your side of the story. So, you know, we've been chatting now for 20 minutes or so. We have got people out there listening, so I'm going to wave to you all.
Hello.
Thank you so much for listening. And you know, this will be going out on my YouTube channel as well, so you can hear my conversation with Charlotte again and get the update from Charlotte. Charlotte, look, I just wanted to ask you, at the end of my conversations on my With Tracy podcast, you know that I always ask for one piece of advice. Now, your piece of advice 2 years ago was know where you're going and know what you want. And I just kind of want to go back and say, do you think that you still have that one piece of advice, or is, after 2 years on, is there another piece of advice you'd give anyone?
Delegate. So I do still think the original still stands. You know, I still have a clear goal in my head about what I want, and I just, you know, we've had so many curveballs thrown along the way. Everyone has, you know, not just us, have we? It's everybody. So we've managed to stay on course slightly. But yeah, absolutely, 100%. Just delegate the things that, you don't have, that are taking up so much of your time from away from your valuable time, away from doing what you do best. I'm the best at formulating and creating great smells, and I'm not someone that works in supply and operations. I do feel mind, though I have got a great number of experience now, but that is not my area of expertise. And I think there's times, you do need to sort of delegate to sort of specialist people.
Yeah. And do you know what the positive spin on that is, Charlotte? That means growth, that your business has been expanding, and so that's why you need that extra help. So that is a positive sign, even if it's a hard one to actually put into place. But actually, if you think about it like that, it's quite exciting. So when you've got 100 people working for you.
It would be so nice.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on the Insta Live tonight.
Thank you.
It's been brilliant, and I am over this month, so I'm going to contact you, and I'm going to see that wonderful lab that you've outgrown already.
Yes.
And we'll do some more sharing, definitely, and maybe come back again. Let's not leave it. We're not going to give it 2 years, that's for sure.
Oh no, we'll come back before then.
And thank you everyone for joining us tonight. And as I say, you can watch this again on my YouTube channel. So and listen to Charlotte. It's just I love your story. It's a success story. You're doing so well. I mean, thank you, Charlotte. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No, it's great. It really is. All right, my dear. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.